The first time I saw one carrying one of our honeybees away, I was in shock and in awe. I had never seen anything like that.
There's a new invasive species in town, and it's a nasty one, the yellow-legged hornet. The Georgia Department of Agriculture recently announced that it's detected the species in Savannah. Felicia Renick works at the Savannah Bee Company and says she witnessed the hornets attacking their honeybees.
These things are large and they swoop in like a hawk, and they're very noticeable. They grab it right in front of the hive and fly off with it. We were all so angry to see these things. The honeybees, they're like our family. I was very upset.
The invasive yellow-legged hornet has plagued European bees and beekeepers for almost 20 years, but this is the first time it's been spotted in the U.S.
This one has us very concerned.
Ben Powell is the coordinator for Clemson University's Apiculture and Pollinator program. He says the yellow-legged hornets are especially bad because
this particular insect has a tendency to actually attack other social insects, especially bees and wasps. And honeybees have their biology create a large colony with thousands of individuals and thousands of larvae or developing brood, which is the perfect dinner for these hornets. So they have a tendency later in the year to attack bee colonies and can, as a result, actually destroy the colony outright in a very short period of time. We don't believe that our bees in the United States are adapted to defend themselves well against this particular invader.
Powell adds that yellow-legged hornets are clever predators.
If it locates a beekeeping operation, it has a remarkable ability to actually recruit other nest mates to attack a beehive. So they can mark a hive, they can help their nest mates find that hive, and they coordinate an attack.
They call the rest of their hornet buddies to come and pig out, and that's what they've been doing to our bees in our apiary, unfortunately.
And that could be a problem for people who eat, i.e. everyone.
Pollinators are extremely important because they support most of our agricultural and horticultural systems. About 3/4 of the species of plants that we cultivate require some sort of insect pollinator to actually produce seed or fruit. So most of the fruits and fibers that we produce are supported by pollinators, especially the Western honeybee.
If there aren't honeybees and other native pollinators, then we don't eat very much here. So it's really important that we get these things eradicated ASAP, because the honeybees already have enough problems. They really don't need this added on top of it.
So how did these hornets, which originated in Asia, spread in the first place?
It is suspected that the yellow-legged hornet actually came in on some pottery that was imported into France back in 2004. So we do know that this particular species can hitch a ride in containers and travel through commerce. Because the Savannah port, as well as the Charleston port, are international ports receiving containers and goods from all over the world, it seems quite likely that that was the avenue for introduction. This is the world we live in now, where we have world commerce and constant exchange of goods and materials transcontinentally. And that means that we're taking organisms that were geographically separated from us and putting them in our ecosystem. Some of those organisms don't survive, they don't adapt well, but other organisms find the new novel habitat very enticing and are able to reproduce and spread rapidly.
Teams from Georgia are working to identify, trace, and eradicate the yellow-legged hornet, much like Washington state officials have done with the so-called murder hornet.
We're very, very early in the process, so we don't know the extent of the establishment. We don't know how long they've been here or how widespread they are, but everything seems to indicate that they're relatively small and isolated to a small area right now. So I'm hopeful that with good reporting and vigilance in the public and response from the agency folks, that we can actually get in front of this and hopefully eradicate them before they're able to spread.
And the sooner these hornets go away, the better.
It's just like an attack. It's an attack on our entire way of life, especially at Savannah Bee Company.
This is Inside Edition Digital.